Hello? Is this working? Yeah, I think it is. Oh my god. Okay, hold up. Hey everyone. Thank god. Okay. Is audio good? All the audio's good? Music's not too loud? Are we good? Cool. Audio's good. Wow. All right. Hey everyone. I am really sorry for this sudden stream. This was not planned. In fact, I had a whole plan. I had a whole plan tomorrow. Like, I got some cool things I wanted to talk about tomorrow. And then, like, after I got through all those topics, I was gonna go, like, watch the HTC Vive event live on stream tomorrow. But, yeah, there's not much point. I mean, I'll probably still stream the event tomorrow, but there's not much point to that anymore. For those who do not know, HTC tomorrow is supposed to have an event to announce a new product. We've been seeing a lot of hints from their marketing team. Let's actually show you what I mean by marketing hints. I'm gonna show you those marketing hints in a really interesting way, by the way. It'll make you see marketing from companies very differently. So yeah, you remember these photos? I'm sure a lot of YouTubers have been talking about these photos because HTC has been posting these all over the place, right? Well, just a little extra thing. This is very common in the marketing industry, but does this photo look familiar to you? Here, I'll switch between them again. So yeah, HTC Flow is what we are going to start talking about. A lot of leaks came out, and we know most of the information. We don't know some specs, but we know basically what it looks like and what it is for the most part. So here's all the images that leaked from EV Leaks. They are very good at leaking phones normally, and I guess since HTC is a phone company, he still has the connections to leak whatever they do for VR. So here's the HTC Flow. It is a very small headset that can fit into here. So that was all they were showing off with this cup. Was they were so confident to show off this cup because their new headset is a very small form factor and it can go into here. You want to know what the FOV will be? We'll talk about that very soon because I have a good idea what the FOV will be. I was preparing materials before tomorrow's stream. Here's another thing that might be really interesting if you wear glasses. The optics on this headset can change the actual diopter of up to -6. So if you have myopia up to -6, you'll be able to adjust these lenses by twisting them to get better, eyesight without wearing glasses. How heavy will the Flow be? Probably around 200 grams. So I want to go through everything, and then we're gonna open up the floodgates of questions because I have been waiting for this moment for months now. Literally maybe not months, a couple months. A month ago, I made this video. Microdisplays, next gen OLED for VR. I talked about in this video how a bunch of companies in the VR industry have been gearing up to use OLED microdisplays. The Varge already used one, but they pair it with an LCD display, and yeah, this is how tiny they usually are. And the issue with OLED microdisplays, they're not new technology, but they've been very difficult optics-wise to actually magnify the image to actually be good enough for FOV and like a bunch of other things related to artifacting and stuff. But we are finally at the point where optics have caught up to the display technology, and you're going to see a bunch of companies start using these little microdisplays in their headsets. Because they're using let me get a visual aid. Up until now, these are what has been packed into every headset. This is what you can call a lens cup, right? On the back of the lens cup, right on the other side of this plastic, there is a was it 4-inch diagonal display, and then there's the lens, and then they keep it a certain distance because they're not actually doing that much magnification. And you would always have to pack these into headsets, and due to that, headsets would always be a certain size, kind of like a brick for the most part. But now with OLED microdisplays and some better optics, we are allowed to actually put the optics almost right up against the actual displays, the tiny displays. And that's another thing, that displays are smaller too. So form factors like this are now possible. They are now possible. Do people actually use VR for meditation? Not yet. VR is not going to be only for gaming, guys. Like, VR is like we've been using VR for gaming because honestly, gamers are willing to put up with a lot more than the average consumer, right? It's like how smartphones never really took off until the technology got good enough where we were able to have everything on a touch display. People did not really like to actually have a giant keyboard of tiny buttons that they'd have to type on. It was like the hardware allowed smartphones to blow up to become a multi-useful device for everyone. And VR is going to be the same way. The hardware is catching up, so now instead of just being a gaming device, we're going to branch off into a lot of sectors. So let's continue talking about the Flow. Let's just continue talking about it a little bit, because there's more. This is not just the Flow. There's a big thing that just happened that made me want to do this stream. So yeah, VR Vive Flow has optics that you can change diopters, so you don't have to wear glasses. It's made for consumers. This is a consumer headset. This is not executive focused headset. And it's made for a variety of things. You can see also here. Do you see these? Do you see what these are? These are not pupils on the on the glasses. These are cameras. Because apparently there'll be like some sort of... This headset apparently is going to be 6DOF, I've heard from people. Not 3DOF like the Oculus Go. And because it has these cameras, it'll be able to do 6DOF tracking and some other cool stuff. But we'll probably learn more exactly about that tomorrow. Here's the interesting thing here. So, yeah. This is the this image is really cool. This is the internals. And it shows the cooling fan and like all the systems that are inside of it. And it actually drives me nuts. I said earlier in the stream how I was preparing for tomorrow. Well, I had a patent that I was so proud of right here. I was like, I was gonna show off this patent tomorrow before the stream and be like, this is what I think the Vive Flow is, right? And it literally shows everything here, and like even the cooling units and everything, like like everything is in here. Look at this, freaking drives me nuts. Like, you know, you see this, and then you go to this leak. Not that one. It's like dang it. I keep getting to the wrong one. Dang it, it's all here. Dang it, man. Alright, yeah, I got beat to it. By HTC leaking it somehow. God dang it, I was gonna be a god tomorrow, whatever. But yeah, I don't know if I have to say much about it. VR headsets are going to start becoming small form factor. This headset is not for gaming. But that does not mean that we will not see a gaming headset with this form factor. In fact, I imagine we're going to see a lot of headsets very soon with this form factor. Look at this. This is when you take off the actual like facial pad, the face cushion. Look how thin this looks, guys. If you have even Oculus Quest 2 right now, look how thick it is from the top. Look at it. Look at it. Just look at it if you have one around. Like, it's insane. This is the future, guys. This is the future that's going to make VR more mainstream. What is the market for a $500 controllerless headset? We'll get to that. We'll get to the price and everything and talk about that. Built-in audio, active cooling. I mean, it is a headset. This is a standalone headset, but it's not for gaming. It's not going to be marketed for gaming. But because it's a standalone headset, I bet you I almost guarantee it's going to run some sort of XR Snapdragon chip. And there's going to be a weird niche of people that are going to buy this. And then like Guy Godin, which I saw him in the chat, I bet you he's going to rush to get virtual desktop working on this thing. And even though this doesn't come with controllers, this is a small form factor headset with HTC. It uses OLED microdisplays, 100% OLED microdisplays, Probably a very high resolution too, because you do not release a product like this unless it's a high resolution like OLED microdisplays. But we'll know the exact resolution tomorrow. They'll announce that. But here's another weird, couple weird things here. It does pair via Bluetooth. People have been complaining that they've been seeing a wire in some of these images, but this thing will work wirelessly in ways. Like here, this is Bluetooth pairing. And this is very interesting as a concept. I bet you when Apple does their HMD, they're going to do something very similar to this, guys. Like, look at this. A phone as a VR controller. Everyone has... Don't you guys have phones? Everyone has phones. Using a phone as a VR controller kind of makes sense for a device that's targeted for consumers and not really focused on gaming. This is the kind of device I can imagine in literally a year or two, they're gonna start selling them with like actual cellular antennas in them, and you can place a SIM card and replace your phone. This is where we're getting to. We're getting to that point very soon, everyone. Like, seriously, we're getting there very fast. I'm telling you. It has a built-in battery. Yes, apparently it does. I mean, it should. Phone to VR streaming, like media viewing. Anyway, but here's where people start wondering. $500 for this. HTC is not subsidizing their hardware. They're not Facebook. They're a company that is very small and has had some hardware failures that have burned them in the past. And they have Viveport, which you don't know what Viveport is. It's basically their Steam, and they also have like a cloud subscription service, so you can like get multiple pieces of content per month, like kind of like Netflix but for VR. But that's not very popular, right? So they're not making much money on Viveport. So they got to make money on the hardware. $500 for this device is what it's at. And I honestly think that this product will do well, even at this price. I think when people start getting this in their hands and they start talking about it, I think people are going to like it. I really believe this. And this is coming from me, guys. I have bashed HTC products so much in my past. If you watch my HTC Vive Pro 2 review, I called it the least forward-thinking headset they've ever released. This is the opposite. This is a way more forward-thinking than the Vive Pro 2, in my opinion. But it's expensive. And it's because they're not Facebook. And this is where everything goes crazy. Look at this. After everything was leaked before their event, this was posted 1 hour ago from Boz. Boz is the upcoming CTO of Facebook Reality Labs. Here's what he wrote. Proud of the research Michael Abrash's team is working on at Facebook Reality Labs Redmond. Excited to get an early look of some of the technologies that will underpin the metaverse. I can't, how do I zoom in on this? What does this look like, guys? What the flip does that look like? What does this look like? What were we just looking at a second ago? Alright. Let's take a moment. We're gonna talk about this a little bit more, but before we go on, there is a lot to talk about in chat. I know chat's been writing, and I need to get better. Alright. Before we go on to this, is there anything you want me to talk about related to Vive Flow before I go into the spiel? The OLED Microdisplays spiel. Can you explain the concept behind the metaverse? The metaverse is like kind of a buzzword right now because so many companies are using it. The way I see a metaverse is kind of like how the internet is. Like when the internet first came out, and like every computer like would slowly get access to the internet, and people would be able to use the internet in ways from their client devices. The metaverse in my opinion, going to be like that for VR. But the issue right now is everyone's trying to control the metaverse from their company. I'm actually glad you brought that up. Let's talk about the metaverse for a second, because this was another leak that happened. I didn't really want to talk about it because it's kind of boring. But where is it? So this website was leaked a couple days ago. I posted it on Twitter, but ever since I posted on Twitter, they took the website down. It was a staging website to show off Vive's metaverse, which is called Viveportverse. But because I knew that was probably going to happen, well, guess what I did? I saved a version of the website on Wayback Machine. So this is Viveportverse, or like whatever's left of that website that was up, and this is this probably will not load because it's probably taken down, but I did back up that video. Oh, it's loading. Cool. So this is HTC's. Okay, this is not loading very well, actually. We'll come back to the video. So this is HTC's metaverse. The metaverse is VR chat for boomers. Yeah, pretty much. This is definitely a business-focused metaverse. NFT showroom is the first feature that HTC wants to proudly show off as part of their metaverse here. They seem to really believe in NFTs. And there is going to be a platform on this metaverse for people that do NFTs. And there'll be stuff that people can create 3D objects. And like, it's basically, if you ever play Neos, guys, a lot of these metaverse programs are basically trying to be Neos, but terrible. So VR chat, and yeah, like VR chat or Neos, like I feel like it's pretty sad that all these companies are trying to make like a metaverse thing, but they're all terrible. And we got VR chat, we got Neos. Those are like way better, they're way ahead of the game compared to these companies. And then I see what they try to release. Like Facebook has Horizons, and Horizons is awful too. Like honestly. They're literally paying money right now to try to get people to create content in Horizons because no one wants to spend more than 2 minutes when they load up Horizons if they get the private invite. But yeah, I mean this is whatever this is. It's business HTC metaverse called. It's based off of Vive Sync, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, I don't want to talk too much about that. Let's continue. Any more questions? Are they showing a Quest 1? I don't know. It's basically Second Life, yeah. Horizon is just VR chat, but you need a Facebook account, but it's not. Verizon's is like, I don't even know what to call it. Verizon's feels like AltSpace. Do you guys know what AltSpace is? AltSpace was like another one of those social VR apps that came out a few years ago. It's now owned by Microsoft, I think. But like, I think the problem with a lot of these metaverse things is companies are trying to force you to become a Bitmoji of yourself instead of becoming whatever you want. Which sure is great for the business market. Like that makes sense for businesses. But when you're trying to get consumers or just everyday people to go in somewhere and spend their hours of their day, why would you want, like, VR, the whole amazing thing about VR, in my opinion, is doing things you can't do in real life. Like, being things you can't be, exploring things that couldn't exist. So when I see something like Horizons turn you into just a Bitmoji of yourself and throw you in these worlds that are, like, super sterile and you can't really, you're very limited on what you can do, it's so terrible. I think that's why they failed. It's not worth it for people. AltSpace used to have great cards against humanity. I never spent... The only memory I have of AltSpace that was like kind of a positive one, and it wasn't because of AltSpace. Before the Vive came out, I had a prototype, right? And AltSpace was like one of the first social VR apps that had support for the Vive controllers, the wands. And I went into AltSpace one time in the public lobby, and I was literally the only one with hands because I was like the only user that had 6DOF controllers. And people kept coming up to me and be like, whoa, dude, how are you doing that? What are those controllers? And I'm like, this was a long time ago. And I told them, oh, these are the Vive controllers. And they were like, the what? What's a Vive? It was, that was a fun memory. What do you think Valve would be interested in creating a metaverse of their own, open platform maybe? Well, I think that, like, in my opinion, I think what Valve wants to do, I don't think they want to create their own metaverse. I think they want to, like, boost Linux up to allow people to Linux metaverse. or personal computer metaverse. Don't have their own platform that they're controlling, but just give the tools and the software to where people can do whatever they want and see where it goes, you know? That's what I think. If Valve even cares about a metaverse, I think that's the way they'll go. All right, let's continue, guys. I think I answered a few. Well, I'll answer more questions later, what I think about some things. But yeah, again, let's go back to this. So Boz showed off of this. No doubt, pancake optics, OLED microdisplays, because again, that's the only way you can reach these form factors right now, is using those two. And if you guys don't know, a couple weeks ago, I uploaded a video. Where did I put my videos tab? I uploaded a video talking about how this one here, Quest 2 Plus and Quest 2 Pro. I talked about how there were two prototypes in the deep in the firmware files and the kernel files for the Oculus GitHub. Everyone was talking about the dual LCD stuff, right? We were talking about that, the dual LCD with local dimming or whatever. And it was surprising to me because there was this whole other display type that was found in the file. That I need to pull that up. Actually, this is killing me unless I pull it up. Just to show you I'm not crazy. Like, I'm not crazy. All right, here we go. Here we go. So this is what I found. This is all in the Facebook GitHub, and it's in one of the old kernel files. And this is a UOLED, stands for OLED Microdisplay, right here. So this is a display type file that if a headset was running these displays, they would be able to know the exact parameters for everything. And it even shows the resolution for these panels. In this case, it was a 2768 by 3000 per eye panels. And I was like, how are people not talking about this? I've been saying I believe OLED microdisplays are the future because it allows higher resolutions, higher brightness, better colors, going back to OLED, which people want in VR. They've been wanting since we went to LCD, and smaller form factors, if I didn't say that already. So I found this, right? And I'm like, okay, well, it's very possible that there might be two tiers of headsets being worked on by Facebook. Well, what's this? What's this? And Bosworth says here, we work on several prototype headsets to prove out concepts. I really believe this is like Seabright. There was two headsets. Seacliff was the LCD one, and Seabright was the OLED microdisplay, right? You cannot make LCDs in this form factor. I don't think you can, like, at all. It's like impossible, I think, unless you have like micro LCD on silicon, but then that kind of sucks compared to like no one's gonna use small liquid LCD on silicon compared to micro OLED. There's like no point at that point. Like, so yeah, I see this, I'm like, okay, that's cool. And then there was one other image I want to show off. At the same time that Bosworth showed off this tweet, on Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg showed this off. I spent the day with Facebook Reality Labs research team in Redmond to demo our next generation virtual reality augmented. This is a different headset. I'll scroll in. This is a different headset, right? Smaller or bigger bigger form factor, a lot closer to LCD, right? This obviously would have LCDs of some sort in it, or at least big size panels. So I think back to my video where I was like estimating that there might be two different headsets being worked on, and like maybe even released one, maybe at different times. One that's focused on OLED microdisplays in small form factor, and then this one which I would imagine if it's using LCDs would be cheaper than the OLED one, but who knows. And yeah. Yeah. And they released this right before the HTC event because the HTC event was getting a lot of people talking about it because of all these leaks, right? This is what we like to call undercutting each other. Like, Facebook does not want to wait a few, because Facebook's event is on the 28th, 2 weeks from now. Facebook does not want HTC to have all this glory with this tiny form factor, especially if they're getting ready to probably announce at some point something very similar. So this is, in my opinion, Facebook coming out and saying, hey, I see some people are like, hey, this tiny form factor is pretty cool. Wow, wait, they're gonna release on they're gonna release this for pre-orders on what day? Pre-order starts October 15th on Friday? No. Save your money, guys, because look what we're working on right here. Look what we're working on right here. Do not do that, guys, you know? Any chance Valve will undercut Facebook's event? That's my dream, but I don't want to guess something like that because, you know, that would be amazing. Especially after this happening, right? So, you're like an FBI agent? Well, I was talking to someone a couple weeks ago that works in the industry, and basically he told me that what I'm doing every day is basically like corporate espionage without the corporation behind me. So, yeah, that's kind of cool. That's fun. So yeah, what I'm trying to say is OLED microdisplays are here. They bring in small form factors. They bring back OLED at higher resolutions than what we currently have in headsets. They bring back all the colors and benefits that come from OLED. This is what I would like. Even without varifocal lenses, this is a next step up from what we have. I don't think anyone would deny that, right? Because comfort is very important for VR. And making things way less and making things smaller is going to make consumer adoption, and not just consumer adoption, but retention rates for VR way higher. Whew, so yeah, let's take some more questions and stuff. Excuse me. Who'd have think it? Corporate espionage is just lurking around on the internet. I mean, yeah, I guarantee that there was a lot of corporate espionage going on from Facebook. Just all companies do it. All companies are trying to figure out what the other companies are working on so they can undercut them. Like, I don't think that's very shocking. Oh yeah, FOV. I'm glad you brought that up. So, FOV, yes. I talked about how I found this patent, right? This was a patent that literally was the flow. It was literally the flow. Well, around the same time, they also did another patent that give a good hint to the FOV that we could probably see. Is this the right one? This is not the right one, actually. This is not the right patent. Hold on. I think it's this one. So this is like a micro lens array, basically like a pancake optics designed by HTC. And this image should tell you everything you need to know. From this patent, which the other patent that goes along with it seems to be very correct, I imagine that the Vive Flow is going to have an FOV of around 100 to 110 at the farthest for people, basically. Yes. Yes. All right. Alvin Wang Graylin commented on the tweet. Hey, Boz, nice. Okay, so you don't know who this is. He is literally the China president of HTC and Vive. He replied to this cheeky post. Hey, Boz, nice looking research project. Want to trade for a production quality device hot out of our factory? I bet you Vive is so pissed right now. I bet you this guy's like upset because the whole reason they literally were about to be the first ones to release, like the first big VR company to release an OLED microdisplay form factor device. And then this comes out and people are gonna be like, well, wait, Facebook soon. So that sucks for them. Wouldn't that be... No, don't think of it like that. Don't think of it as 100. No, don't think of it as 220. No, it's not how it works. Trust me, 100 and 110 degrees. Don't think of it like that. Don't think of it like that, guys. 110 degrees. 100. Do not 220. 110 degrees. Which again is impressive because these are small displays that they're magnifying. Don't think 220. I'm sorry. That is 110. 110 max. 110 max. No, I'm not trying to say... No, not 220. It's not 220. Stop. Stop. Stop thinking like that. The image said something else, though? Well... Hold on. Let's look at it again. I might be pulling a stupid. Let me see if I'm pulling a stupid. Am I pulling a stupid? I might be pulling a stupid. Alright, well, it's not going to be 220. Ignore all that, then. It's not going to be 220. Shut up, chat. I pulled a stupid. I'm going to murder my chat. Oh, my God. Alright. Oh, God. Oh, I'm gonna murder you all. I still think 100 and 110 is probably likely. I think you're all reading the image too much and not reading the patent. Because I read, you know, they show images in these patents at the beginning, but then, because they're just figures, guys. They're figures to explain the writing better. Every patent starts with figures, and then you go down and you read what the figures mean. Stop telling me what I don't know. Yo, pieces of garbage. God dang it. Chat is like, you guys are on something. Alright. Any more questions about this stuff? We are just gaslighting you? Yeah, I think so. Spear FOV. Oh yeah, there's gonna be a new headset coming out where when you put on the VR headset, they surgically inject more eyes into your head so you get greater FOV values. Any thoughts on the response time? Some of them are really insane, guys. I don't remember which company it was, but I think it was Imagine. But I think they were like talking about how they can get every single pixel to light up at once, which is a big deal because usually displays... Hold on. I can never stream without burping. Usually displays like go like a wave, right? At very fast speeds, but you know, yeah. Valve Decker news? There's not much Valve Decker news, but there's something Valve related I want to talk about while we're here. Before I go on the next topic, I want to finish up this topic. Battery? No idea about batteries. I mean, they're gonna have batteries built in. Well, what's interesting about this one looks like it might be battery in the back, maybe? I mean, there's something in the back here. I don't know. What is the next FOV breaking tech we need? Probably varifocal. Like, solid-state varifocal can probably get some gains. But the thing is, you literally have to design around the display and the lenses together to get a higher FOV. But I think for a lot of people, there are going to be some headsets in the higher enthusiast tier that are going to have high FOV and use these micro OLED displays, even if they're a little bit larger. People were asking me if I think the Valve Deckard will be this form factor. I don't know. Probably not, because... So this is another benefit of shrinking things down in headsets. When you shrink things down, you can pack more things in there as well to get even more features and value out of the space you're given. You're still taking away a lot of the weight. So it's like, what do you want? Do you want small form factor with less features? But because we also have these small form factor lenses and displays, do you want us all to pack in more features as well? If you're a heavy user or something like that, you know. Is pre-order a good idea? I don't know. Let's wait for tomorrow. I'm gonna stream the event tomorrow with live reactions because we still don't know the resolution, like, officially. I have a good idea. It's gonna be a high resolution for sure, but let's just wait for tomorrow. I'm gonna be streaming that event tomorrow live. Okay. Deckard. I recommend, if you want to know what Deckard is using an ARM chip, but with the focus on PC VR, a custom ARM chip. But the idea is not to use the ARM chip for standalone, it's to pair it with a PC for split rendering. At least one 6DOF controller would be good. Yeah, well, you can use yeah, I agree with that. But you're probably gonna be able to use your hands. I imagine they're getting hand tracking going for this. What's the unofficial resolution? I don't want to say. I don't want to say. Higher than the Vive Pro 2 per eye is from what I am guessing. What is Vive Flow? Rewind this stream. Okay, let's go on to the next topic that I think is really cool. I gotta give out a shout out to Tyler _#001 on my Discord for giving me information on this. What am I typing in? Open BCI. So for those who wanted to know a little bit about Valve news, there's nothing new related to Deckard. Remember when I said in my Deckard stream that I really don't expect any more leaks coming out that would be big enough to cover, at least, that I believe the next thing we would see is an announcement? Well, so far that's true. There's been no patents for 2 months, almost. There's been no leaks since my last big leak stream. It's been quiet and dead, no SteamVR updates, nothing. But we did get something new related to Valve. Say it, I'm not saying it. So this is very cool. I've talked about Galea before on my channel. If you do not know what Project Galea is, it is what I like to call a non-invasive BCI. BCI stands for Brain-Computer Interface. Now, it's not the kind that you literally inject something in your skull and then the computer can read and write things back and forth. No, this is all read-only and no injections required. But this has been a project that's actually been worked on for a few years between OpenBCI, which also OpenBCI is awesome because guess what? Everything in OpenBCI software-wise is open source, which means you can actually see what the software is doing. It's all open source. People can do whatever they want with it. So that's cool. If we're going to get into the BCI territory, I think open sourcing that is very important. But anyway, Project Galea. Again, I've talked about this before, and we've seen a lot of prototypes for a while, or not a while, but a good amount. This is old prototypes here that we saw, very old. Basically, this special strap with a bunch of chips and like a bunch of sensors strapped onto a headset, a Valve Index. Here's another great photo. This is actually a better photo because it's from the front. So this is what the old prototype looked like. This is what an old prototype looked like. Very clunky. Especially the face pad here. You know why this was there was multiple reasons why this was clunky, and we're going to get into why in a second. But one thing they had to add onto the Index to get it working well was they needed eye tracking. Because this device has a bunch of sensors that are not exactly new. The medical industry has been using it for a while. But the idea is if you pair all these sensors together with eye tracking on an HMD, you can get a lot of useful information. Well, at least that's the hope. What information can they get out of this? Well, let's get that out. I'm gonna just pull up one image. This is a great MIT article. If you ever want to learn more about this device, I recommend it. It's very cool. these are all the sensors inside of Galea. EOG, which is basically, that's eye tracking. We'll just say eye tracking for now. EEG, electro. I'm gonna mess up these words just like how I say Qualcomm. So I'm just gonna say the abbreviations. These are all the sensors, and they show what they do: attention assessment, cognitive flexibility, neurorehabilitation, facial expression, arousal levels, cognitive load, stress management. And for now, Valve has, Gabe Newell has said in the past that all this stuff is expensive still right now. Like, this headset is not going to be cheap for consumers anytime soon. But he believes that with all these sensors, big VR developers are very interested in getting very useful playtester data, which playtesting is the people they throw into games to test everything to make sure their game is good. They really believe that VR development studios should have a device like this in office to get very useful data about, because VR is a very new territory for game design, and a lot of things that work in non-VR will probably might overwhelm a user's brain, stuff like that. But this is also very useful for rehabilitation purposes as well. But again, I said that there's been a lot of prototypes being shown, and they all looked very prototypey, like this, right? Literally, 4 days ago, OpenBCI updated their website, and this is the image we got. A brand new image of what looks to be a way more refined Project Galea prototype. And a BCI module for Deckard. I think that's the long-term plan. Remember, we talked about how Valve wants this to be consumer one day, guys. I swear to God, they want BCI data to be able to change gameplay. Just imagine your mind or the game reacting to the emotional impact the game's having on you and be able to change itself depending on the emotions or the cognitive load you're having, among other things. That would be huge for gaming. But again, that's way off. And like, if this technology ever becomes cheaper, they can release a head strap with these sensors on it and slap it on a Deckard, because it's the idea of Deckard is to be a long-term module thing. Anyway, but look at this. This is way more refined than this. I need to switch between these. And what's really cool is this is not even the face pad on the index. This is a very thin special face pad that clearly has these sensors on it. And there's not much to talk about, but I wonder how they were able to slim it down. How were they able to slim this down? Am I dead? Am I live? Hello? Hello? I'm back. Okay, that was weird. I've never had an issue like that. Okay, yeah, my stream stopped for a second. Maybe all the VR companies are trying to DDoS me. Not really. That was a joke. Okay, that was scary. But yeah, this Project Galea is slated to start releasing to people, researchers, and like game dev companies in 2022, next year. I just have to wonder if when they release this thing, will they release it with the index? Or would they release it with Deckard? That already has built-in eye tracking, because you need eye tracking for this all to work together at its best. Because it just seems annoying to have to like make custom indexes with eye tracking built in when we know over the horizon Deckard's gonna have eye tracking. It seems way more beneficial from like a product manufacturing line standpoint to sell Deckard with the head strap connected to it. But we'll see. This tech could be used for corporate behavior modifications. Oh yeah. I mean, this tech could be easily abused. I joked on Twitter about how, like, if people can see how you're, like, cognitively reacting to content, I can imagine instead of going in for, like, in-person interviews, people will just put you in these experiences with the BCIs attached, and you are supposed to, like, do this experience, and the job will print out a little paper and say, you fail. Your brain was not good enough for our job because of this BCI data. But this is expensive. It's expensive. It's expensive. But everything starts out expensive, and slowly over time gets better. So this is a long-term thing, but it's cool. I think it's cool, and I want to keep up with talking about this kind of stuff. I wonder what the industry is going to look like in 2025. Well, again, we were just talking about how things are changing so fast, right? I've been saying that this is going to happen so soon, right? This crap right here. But like if you go on like Reddit, for example, and even like some other people I've been talking to privately, they've been seeing these images and they literally think it's fake. Like they think all of this is fake, right? This is not fake. This is what hardware is finally becoming. Hardware is not even like growing that fast. It's really just the lenses that are finally catching up. But because the lenses are catching up, VR hardware is going to improve dramatically a lot. It's going to feel a lot faster and so sudden than what we've been used to up from 2016 to now. So, do you have any interest in the Vario? Yes. We'll probably if they're doing a video live stream event next week, Vario is supposed to be announcing a prosumer headset, not a enterprise headset, a prosumer. It will be expensive probably, but it probably won't have a subscription. And again, it's focused for prosumers. It's gonna be like competing against the Index in a way. And if they are doing like a video thing, I will probably live stream it. That'll be next Thursday. Not this Thursday. So this Thursday, tomorrow we have HTC. Next Thursday we have Vario. And the night before that, in China, Pimax is announcing something new, which we'll probably cover on Thursday. Next Thursday, I'll probably just cover whatever Pimax announces and talk about it. And then finally, on the last Thursday of the month is Facebook Connect. This is like the biggest month for VR we've had in a while. Is this the VR 2.0 generation? I would say yes. In my opinion, we are there. Yes. I think everything up until this point has been 1.0 or 1.5. This crap right here, I see this as 2.0. But like, I mean, I guess if yeah, that's the way I see it. Oh well. Pimax 16K. It would be really interesting if Pimax was able to. So, all right, this might make some people upset. I'm personally not a fan of Pimax products. Some people are very sensitive to distortion that comes from the very wide FOV. I'm unfortunately one of the people that's very sensitive to stuff like that. And even though it's been getting way better, like the Pi tool and stuff has been getting way better, I am very sensitive to that stuff. But I imagine, like, what if Pimax, I don't think this will be possible, they use super wide displays to get the wide FOV with some weird lenses. What if they were able to shrink down that giant form factor by using like super wide OLED microdisplays? That would be super cool. But that would literally require like getting your own manufacturer for that, and I don't think Pimax has the resources to do something like that. So, yeah. 7.62 gen? Yeah. Isn't it 1.0, 2.0? Okay, I have never counted 3DOF as VR. Hot take. I have never counted 3DOF as true VR. Never. I have always been very angsty against 3DOF devices. Because I saw devices like this, which again, I do believe is 6UF. So when I saw products like Oculus Go came out, I was like, what is the point? One day we'll have stuff like this. And this. How much longer until full dive? I don't even want to talk about full dive. It's so far away, guys. Don't even like expect that for consumer use. And like, that's like 20 years, maybe. There's a lot of progress being done with invasive BCI stuff. But for consumer humans, no way it's going to take less than 20 years. That's so far away. I'd rather talk about what's possible in the near future, you know? Why they not use curved displays in VR headsets? I think the biggest issue with them is the optics don't really make curved displays look that well. I think it's the Pico Neo uses curved displays, and that headset has a lot of issues with pupil swim. If you don't know what pupil swim is, it's when you like move your eyes around the display and all the edges you're seeing on every object kind of move with your eyes. And it's very distracting. If you ever get a Pico Neo 3, I might have just ruined it for you because you're going to notice that right away. You're going to notice it right away. What happened with Deca Gear? Nothing happened. That's the problem. Nothing has happened with Deca Gear. You know how I literally said in my last stream that people were asking me about what I thought about Deca Gear, and I said Deca Gear is a cool product, but since they're not releasing anytime soon, they're dead in the water, basically. Do you see what I mean by that? You see why I say stuff like that? You see why? LCD displays, you know, it's, I don't know. Yeah, they do curved display with flat optics. Exactly. Deca Gear, I don't even think Deca Gear was vaporware. It was just they came at a time where the chip shortage really affects small companies the most, and they are a new startup, and they were not able to get out the door fast enough, and they were going to be left in the dust because VR 2.0 is coming right here. This is the month, guys. This is why every single person's having an event this month, because VR 2.0 is here. Everyone's got the technology to make VR 2.0. How will smaller lenses affect FOV? Smaller displays, you mean? Again, smaller displays, tiny displays will affect FOV if they don't have good optics. But we're using something called pancake optics, and a lot of these optic systems are way more advanced than what we've been using. These things are so simple. These Fresnel lenses that we've been using for 5 years now, these don't do much. They are very passive. They're very basic. Optics technology has gotten better, so it won't be as bad for FOV, especially in some of the big players. No big company wants to release a headset with smaller FOV than what they already have. Is Valve having an event anytime soon? Valve will never have an event. When Valve is ready to announce, they're just going to release a tweet or a website of what they're announcing, and that's it. There is not going to be an event. You're just going to wake up one day and see a bunch of Reddit posts talking about Deckard and how I was right. And it's just going to blow your mind. Yeah, I know the S is silent in Fresnel. Just like how Qualcomm doesn't have a bird in the name. Do you think the new lens technology will help with motion sickness? I read some studies how yes, because a lot of lens technologies will fix artifacting in displays. And artifacting is like a lot of these things that kind of add to getting motion sickness. So it will help a bit. Removing display artifacting will help motion sickness, yes. Alright, I'm trying to think if there's any more topics I want to talk about. Is there any topics that happened this week, guys, that you want me to talk about before I end the stream? Because it's been almost an hour. Deckard shipping with Citadel for free. I can imagine that whenever they announce this Citadel game, it will come free with every Steam Deck and Deckard. Just like how they did at Half-Life Alyx. Talk about Sandbox? Do you guys know about Sandbox? I'm not going to talk about it. I want to do a live stream next week showing the progress of Sandbox. Sandbox is basically... I get a lot of people angry when I say this, but this is the best way to explain to people that don't know what Sandbox is. It is basically Gary's Mod 2. And it's got VR support. I will probably do a live stream next week showing off a lot of the work that people have been doing for getting VR working in Sandbox. And it's a lot of cool stuff. We got like full body tracking. We got actual guns. Gyarados made a Half-Life Alyx inventory gun changing system. Like a lot of stuff's been happening in Sandbox. Apple? I think we'll talk about Apple another time. But Apple is going to be very big when they announce whatever they're working on. I've been starting to do a lot of research on what Apple's working on. It aligns pretty closely to all this, actually. Pretty closely, I would say. Very close to these products. Like, almost exactly close to these products. And they've got some cool stuff in the works. Links. I don't have much more to say about Links, other than the fact that, again, they completely funded. And what's cool about, let me find it real quick. Let me show you this video. This is very impressive. So this was released yesterday for Lynx. If you know what Lynx is, it's the mixed reality headset that's being kickstarted right now. It's focused purely on mixed reality, and they showed off their Ultra Leap implementation, and that is some seriously impressive low latency for hand tracking. Very impressive, which again is very important if you don't ship a product with controllers. Very low latency. I'm very impressed with that. Deckard price range, let's go with expensive. AR Para? I'm glad you brought up AR Para. People were so skeptical of this device. I've been mentioning it a couple times on my streams. So, AR Para is a Chinese product that uses OLED microdisplays and pancake optics. And you might find this kind of familiar, but do you see this here? Oh, frick. It's not okay. This website's not zoom friendly. This also has diopter adjustments for people that have myopia. Doesn't this look very similar to the Vive Flow? Wow, 2560 per eye. Wow, and a very tiny form factor compared to Quest, and super light. This is like 200 grams. Wow, people were so skeptical of this. I told people stop being skeptical of this because this is literally the near future of VR. $500 degrees field of view. God, you people. How can it be with that form? Because this is all due to new optics and OLED microdisplays. A lot of headsets are going to be like this, especially if they're standalone. If they are standalone focused headsets and they have OLED microdisplays in them, they are going to be small. This is closer to a Quest 2 because it actually has an XR2, Snapdragon XR2 in it as well. 120 hertz. This is now, guys. This is Gen 2. I know it's such a buzzword, but like seriously, this is not. The only issue with this headset, yeah, this has a Snapdragon XR2. It says here somewhere. Is this even the right one? No, this is the wrong one. Hold on. This is not. There's two versions. Sorry. This is the all-in-one version. XR2. Here we go. Yeah. XR2 in this one. The other one was a tethered headset for whatever, but this is the one that's like all-in-one. Only heavy stuff will be the batteries. Yeah, and I think that's why a lot of these headsets will put batteries in the back here. That's my guess, because that is more comfortable. I think. Maybe. We'll see. You like the steampunk bug eye? I think it looks cool, actually. I know people like to make fun of these bug eyes, but I like it too. The only thing that would have made it better is what if instead of bug eyes, they were the same shape, but they were just like LED lights, just bright lights. Similar to oh, what's it called? Oh, I forgot the character's name. I'm so sad. Let me show you what I mean. Hold on. Is it Ein? Or is that the dog? That's the dog. Oh, what's her name? What's their name? This character. How did I forget? Frick. Edward. I knew it started with an E. What if headsets looked like this? You see this cool, like, it's glowing on the front? Like, we're so close to this already. Just make them glow. Make them glow. That would be so cool. That would be so sick. I might attach my own freaking LED strips on it. That looks super cool. Oh, man, I want that. It's so stupid. You never watched that anime? Alright, stop watching the stream and go watch that anime. Alright. I'm going to take 2 more questions or topics, and then we're going to end the stream for today. Because, again, I'm going to be streaming tomorrow as well during the HTC event, which, again, what time is that event? Oh, it's at 11 a.m.? Are you kidding me? God, it's so early. I got to wake up early. Well, okay. Yeah, this is my stream tomorrow, 11 a.m. Roz Cosmos VR? I don't know anything about Roz. I don't know much about it. So, unfortunately. I don't know everything, unfortunately, about VR. I try to know as many products as I can, but I can't. There's only so much time in the day. Vario launch speculations. It's just going to be a prosumer headset. It's probably going to be very impressive, and it's probably going to get a lot of people excited. But I have no idea what's going to happen because I did 0 research on Vario. Will I be ordering a Vive Flow? Yes. You know what the sad part is? This is really sad, but this is what my life has devolved into. Okay, so I love the Vive Flow concept, but the main reason I want one is because I want to tear it apart and literally do a tear down of it. I want to tear it. I want to tear it down, please God. But it's gonna be a cool device. I think people are gonna like it. I think it's gonna have very high reviews. I really do believe it's gonna be a good device. Do you know where Tundra trackers are coming? So Tundra trackers, they've completed all their shipments to China early backers. But due to the fact that, you might have heard this a couple weeks ago, but there's been some power limiting to a lot of areas in China. And a lot of factories have not been able to run fully. So that kind of slowed down Tundra a little bit. And they're working for certification from countries to be able to ship. So we're not sure when. I'm an early bird, like the earliest bird, so I should be getting them like in the first wave. But I don't know when that's happening. And then after the early bird, there's the rest of the backers that they need to actually fulfill the orders with too. So until all that's done, they probably won't start worrying about selling more products until all that's done. Given iFixit score, yeah, I mean the Vive was very fixable. I think the iFix. Let me see, iFix. I can attest this 100%. iFixit actually did a HTC Vive repair guide. I can totally attest to this. It is super. I don't recommend it unless you're very experienced still, but it is super easy to take apart an HTC Vive and Vive Pro even, and then put it back together. Very nice. Like uses almost. It's all Phillips head screws and everything. Very cool. Just don't open the lens housing unless you have to, because then you'll get dust in it and I'll screw things. What is the headset that Boz is using? It's another OLED microdisplay headset. It's probably very similar to the Vive Flow, and in my belief, it's the Seabright headset I was talking about in my Quest 2 Plus and Quest 2 Pro video. I really do believe that whatever this is the Seacliff, and whatever this is the Seabright. That is my personal belief. Right to repair is awesome, yes. Oh, thank you for the $2, or €2, sorry. Yeah, I hope this was a fun stream. I don't know if I have much more to say. Why is it not for gaming? Because think about it this way, I think Vive can literally not compete in the gaming standalone market at all. Because even with this announcement, they're not even focusing on gaming with this device, but they were about to be the first ones to announce a small form factor OLED microdisplay HMD. They were gonna have, at least for a couple weeks, the glory. But they can't even have that because Facebook just did a couple tweets. And you know the news is only gonna be talking about this, right? You know Upload VR probably already has an article about it. Let's see. Yeah, here it is. You see what I mean? You see what I mean? Like, yeah. PC VR possibility? I mean, if it's got a Snapdragon XR chip of some sort, I'm sure people are gonna try to tie them to Steam VR. I'm sure Guy Godin will get Virtual Desktop working on it if he can. It's just a matter of time. Do you think people will force the Flow to work? Yeah, I do think. Who do you think the micro... I don't know who it is. That's another reason why I want to start tearing down these products. Because there's only so many companies I know that's making OLED microdisplays for VR that I know. And if I tear down every single one, I'm going to know exactly who makes these displays. Because they always print their names on their displays, at least on the silicon. And that would be very interesting. And it'll just be so cool. If I get like multiple devices with OLED microdisplays and I just lay them out on my desk and take a picture and post that on Twitter, people would love that. They would think that's so cool. I would think that's cool. I basically do stuff that I want to see, right? I always do stuff that I want to see. So I would want to see someone do that if I was on Twitter or something. So are these things comfortable without a top strap? They should be very light headsets. So they should be comfortable. They should be very comfortable. We're talking about a third of the weight of an Oculus Quest 2 on average. Yeah. I'm gonna wait for what Valve comes up next. I guarantee whatever Valve comes out with is gonna be my daily driver. That's my personal opinion. Because I'm a shill for Valve. Even though I leak their products and do corporate espionage for other companies toward their product. I love Valve. And their hardware. Yes. Full body is, where did the Halo strap design go? The Halo strap design was comfortable for some people, but very uncomfortable for others. But some companies might still go with the Halo. I mean, the Halo strap was using like the PSVR 1 head strap was very comfortable. And it was because it had a very light headset, right? The PSVR 1 had like no internals inside of it. And even though they're using large displays, because it had like no internals, it was super light. And that the Halo head strap really worked well for it. And these headsets are going to be very light, just like the PSVR 1. You mispronounced simp? Yeah, I'm a Valve simp. Yeah. How long till they just look like sunglasses? I think this is as close as we're gonna... Let me show you another one, actually. So this is another headset that was shown off in 2020 at CES, I believe. And this is again another headset that uses OLED microdisplays and pancake optics. However, this does not have any internals. It's purely for media viewing and like screen mirroring. But I mean, the only reason that the Vive Flow and whatever Facebook is showing off is thicker and has more stuff is because they're packing in cooling, they're packing in SoCs. Like, you still got to pack in all that stuff if you want actual 6DOF VR. But this is the kind of stuff we'll probably see for media viewing at a cheaper price. Facebook Ray-Ban glasses, I know all about them, but Facebook Ray-Ban glasses are literally just a camera on glasses. Like a spy camera. Have you tried the Catwalk C? I am very bad. I don't oh god, you're gonna make me admit this. I don't like treadmills, VR treadmills, or slide mills. I don't like being tied to anything. Being tied to something around my waist, I don't like that. I am a person that literally cleared my entire room so I can walk around room scale in VR and use full body and stuff. Tying myself into a weird device where I'm just sliding against plastic ice all the time, not worth it for me. Some people love it. I tried. My friend Gyarados, he tried it. He thought it was super cool. For me, it's not for me. Okay, one more question. Possible discount for the Valve Index at Black Friday? Doubt it. I don't even know, like, I have no idea what Valve's plan will be for the Index whenever they announce the Deckard. Like, are they just going to stop selling it? Probably. I've tried VR treadmills. That's what I'm saying. I've tried them. I've tried the Catwalk C even. And I'm just not I'm not that kind of person that likes them. And I complain about joystick locomotion a lot, so like I'm kind of a hypocrite, but I just don't like slide mills. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Would it be a good idea to get used index when the Deckard comes out? That's up to you. I'm sure there's gonna be a ton of I mean we already saw that the index we saw the index. We saw the index completely finally reached on Steam VR, second most headsets plugged in. Second most. $1,000 headset is second, which is crazy in itself. But that's going to be a lot of headsets flooding the used market whenever Valve announces the new one. Because you know all the people that bought this, they're going to be looking at that Deckard and salivating. I'm not the only Valve VR shill out there. Anyway, opinion on murder as a concept. It's very good at murdering trolls who come in my Discord and literally say that small form factor headsets cannot exist. I literally had to ban someone the other day because they were being so obnoxious about that. Alright, that's it. No more. Stream tomorrow. Stream tomorrow around, again. I'll probably start about 30 minutes early. So 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. I'll be starting a stream and then we'll watch it all together. We'll all see the resolutions that the Vive Flow have, and we'll talk about more fun VR stuff. But yeah, thank you everyone for stopping by. I love doing these streams. These have been so fun for me, and it's because that you've all been just really great in my chats. Like, I haven't had to worry about anything. It's been very fun conversations. So, goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Link to Discord, bradsmells.com. Has links to everything, I think. bradsmells.com. Bye.